How to sharpen your chef's knife with a sharpening stone. Sharpening is a process that creates a new cutting edge. It grinds away microscopic chips and reforms the angle on blunted blades to make your knife sharp again. A typical home cook will only need to sharpen their knives a few times a year, though professional cooks will do it as often as once per week. Our favorite way to sharpen knives is with sharpening stones, also known as water stones or whetstones. They come in different grits, from coarse to fine. Like with sandpaper, grit simply refers to the size of the particles used to make up the stone. Low grit stones are used for repairing damaged or very dull knives. They're not needed for routine sharpening, and we won't be using them in this video. A medium grit stone is great for routine sharpening, and fine grit stones are for polishing a finished blade. It will help you get a smooth, shiny, razor-sharp edge. Let's get started with our medium grit stone first. Whetstones need to be soaked in water for about 15 minutes before using them. Simply fill a container with water and submerge your stones. Meanwhile, set out a damp towel, folded in half or quarters, on your work surface. This will hold the stones in place. After 15 minutes, remove the whetstones from the water and place your medium grit stone on top of the prepared towel. We find it best to position the stone vertically in front of you. Like we did in our previous honing video, you'll want to establish a 15-degree angle between the blade and the stone. A stack of 6 quarters under the spine of the knife will help you approximate 15 degrees. Place your knife on the sharpening stone at the end nearest to you and hold it at a 15-degree angle from the cutting edge, like this. Hold your knife in one hand with your wrist locked and use the fingers on the other hand to keep the top part of the knife steady. Now, pressing gently, move the knife in a sweeping motion from the front to the back of the stone, making sure the entire cutting edge makes contact with the stone. Try to maintain consistent pressure on the knife for the full length of the blade. Repeat this 10 to 12 times. You're shaving away the old, dull part of the cutting edge and creating a new one. You will need to periodically wipe down the blade, as the excess steel you're shaving off will build up on the stone and on the knife. You can rinse the stone under tap water or splash a little water on your stone to wash the particles away. As you sharpen, a very thin, jagged crust of excess metal will develop just beyond the new edge. This is a burr, sometimes known as a wire edge. The goal is to create a burr all the way down the opposite side of the knife. You'll be able to feel it when you lightly rub your thumb against the blade, like this. Once you're able to feel the burr, you're done sharpening this side of the blade and can now start on the other side. Again, sweep the knife heel to tip, continuing the same steps until you've produced a burr again. Now that you've exposed the burr after sharpening both sides, you just need to grind it off gently, leaving your new cutting edge in place. Use the same general technique for sharpening, but proceed very, very gently and at a steeper angle. We want the burr to angle away from the knife and fall off. Too much pressure will cause you to form a new burr, which we want to avoid. Now it's time for the fine grit whetstone to smooth and polish the cutting edge. Swap out your medium grit stone with the fine one and repeat the exact same process as before, performing an even number of strokes on each side of the blade, starting with 8 strokes and working your way down to 1. This process smooths out the cutting edge, leaving it shiny and polished. Congratulations, your knife is now razor sharp. For more information and to get your own Mise en Chef's knife, visit Misen.com today.